Hello, it's Keris from Dancework. I'm making this video for you today to share with you my thoughts on being a business and thinking like a business. So even if you are a sole trader, a self-employed freelance dance teacher, and you're freelancing for other dance schools and other companies, and you don't have a dance school of your own, you are still in the business of teaching dance. And all businesses are also in the business of marketing and selling, because that's what a business does and that's how a business survives. So even if you are just you going into your schools, doing your dance teaching, you are still a dance teaching business, because you really want to sell yourself so that you can get the amount of dance teaching work that you really deserve, and to get paid appropriately as well. So you really do have to start thinking of yourself as a dance teaching business, even if you're just thinking, oh well, I'm just a dance teacher. But you still need to think about it as a business, okay? So I've made some notes, and you might want to get a notepad and a pen and make some notes as well as we go along. So here we go. You want to be selling yourself on the internet. A lot of jobs these days are actually not necessarily advertised. So rather than you spending lots and lots of time trawling websites, finding vacancies, when you could be out doing your dance teaching, you can be on the internet so that the people who are looking for dance teachers can find you. So I bet you found out about me through the internet, right? So you would have either found my website on Google, or you would have heard about me on Facebook or Twitter. So you want to make sure that you're going down those routes, and maybe you don't want to get yourself a website yet, but maybe you want to get yourself a Facebook page, or maybe you want to put yourself in some directory, because you know there are a lot of directories on the internet. They're actually free, and not only are they free, they're search engine optimized, which means people are going to find you when they're doing a Google search. So really think about how you could sell yourself on the internet, because everyone is on the internet these days, and that's where people are going to be looking if they want dance teachers. Alright, so that's one. Another thing I have down on my notes is about being professional, and that's not just about turning up on time and looking smart and all the rest of it, but it's really about taking your dance teaching business seriously by making sure that it is a professional dance teaching business with all the things that you need to have. So for example, your public liability insurance. All professional dance teaching businesses are going to have public liability insurance, and let's face it, you're not going to want to go out and teach unless you are covered by some sort of insurance. So will you be going out and getting your own public liability insurance, or will you be using the company that you teach for? For example, Dance Work covers qualified dance teachers to carry out work for us, but if our teachers are going out and doing other work for themselves, they need to have their own public liability insurance. So that's one thing to think about. CRBs, for working with children or vulnerable adults, you need to have an enhanced CRB, which is different to the standard CRB, and you need to make sure that it's valid and it's in date. It needs to be no more than 3 years old for it to be valid, and of course it needs to be clean as well. So your CRB, music licenses. As dance teachers, we need to have music licenses to play commercial music. Now, if you're a mobile dance teacher, which means you're visiting different venues for your work, then you need to have a PPL licence. And if the venues that you're visiting for your work aren't covered by a PRS licence, then you need to have a PRS licence as well. And maybe if you're really, really, really serious about doing well with your dance teaching business and being accepted to work in a whole variety of places, then you really, really need to get yourself a proper professional dance teaching qualification, where schools and gyms and leisure centres are going to recognise that you have the qualification and the know-how to teach dance safely and effectively. So that's another thing you need to think about if you're really serious about teaching dance and making a proper business out of it. And the other thing I really want to talk about is your finances, and thinking like a business in terms of your finance. So do you know how to create the perfect invoice? And if you don't, do you have some software that will generate professional invoices for you? Do you have an accountant, or are you going to do your tax return yourself? Are you going to be sole trader, or are you going to be a limited company? Because sometimes a limited company can offer you more protection being that way. So lots of things to think about in terms of being serious about your dance teaching business. So those are just my thoughts for today. Let me know what you think about this. Drop me an email, keris@dancework.co.uk. And thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you soon.